What's going on, people? It's me, Jay Fresh. I'm right here with the guy who was responsible for the trap wave. The trap wave, Mr. Trap Wave. HUNCHO in the cut. What's going on, bro?
What are you telling me, Jay Fresh? You good?
I'm really good, man. I'm in a good place. You look very comfortable on that sofa.
Bro.
3-man sofa to yourself.
I'm as tall as 3-man, to be honest, so we're good in here, man. Comfy.
Excellent. Getting summer ready in the gym.
Yeah, man. The sun came out for us today.
Wicked. Now, for you, your musical journey has been mad.
Yeah, man.
2 years of mad development.
Yeah, man.
I mean, the speed at which everything's happened. For you, is that something that you're kind of aware of? Or is it just you're just channeling ahead, going ahead with everything you're working on at the moment?
I'm just channeling ahead.
Yeah.
I don't take it in now. I'll take it in probably a few years later or something. Right now is not the time to be taking it in. Right now is the time to build. And I just got to keep building. There's no stopping. I can't be building my own house while I'm giving the bricks to someone else.
Exactly.
I'll end up with no bricks to build my own house with. So, yeah, I'm just building. I'm just trying to develop. I'm just trying to find new sounds. I'm just trying to pioneer what I do, which I feel like I've already accomplished. Pioneered what I do, so the trap wave sound. And I just feel like it's time to get onto, like, you know, music in detail. You know, I do this genuinely for the love of music, so I'm just going to get into the details of it, man.
Yeah, man. And for us, I mean, because this is the first time we've linked, I always like to find out a little bit more about, like, your musicality and kind of the musical influences that were around you growing up or around you as you were becoming a young adult that kind of helped shape you or influence you musically. Who are those people?
Bro, I listen to good music. I listen to anyone.
Good music, I like that.
I listen to good music, like literally good music. You know, from R&B to hip hop to rap to.
Any particular standout artists, groups, anything like that?
Bro, I've been listening from young, so obviously there was the Lauryn Hills and etce's, and then you've got the Erykah Badu's and all of that whole genre there. You know, growing up, it was more of, you know, the Biggies, the Nas, the Jay, the Yeezy, you know what I'm trying to say? I was just getting into that. That was the era at that time.
That's my era of hip hop, those artists there.
Nelly, Ja Rule, 50 Cent. Like, I'm pretty sure everyone that's born in the same era as me and the same era as you was that was it for us.
That was what it was. That's what
exactly.
Life was.
So you know, growing up it was that, and then more time we had from the UK. I've never really listened to a lot of UK music, but you know, I've been listening. I used to. I still do listen to, you know, the likes of people like Gigs, people like Nines, Pot of Paper, like old school. I'm talking Rimsey, I'm talking You Should Know Jerome, like old school, bro, like. And this is the likes of me growing up. And then after that, I kind of lost touch with UK music, because I've always liked music from the States, you know what I'm trying to say, because the way they work rate and their work ethic and the way they get on with things was very, very hardcore, like, I wouldn't say I'm not competing myself, but competitive in their own field, and I just feel like, you know, it was just standing out a lot more. And then you had the whole era of, you know, like the Lil Wayne. For me, the person who done it for me was probably you know, a Future, and I was a big fan of Nipsey as well. R.I.P. So like, for me, that my sounds come from different places. It comes from different genres. Like, you might look at me and think this guy wears a mask, but I might listen to some Daniel Caesar or some Ella May or some Georgia Smith or some Her.
There's a man behind the mask. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah,
come on,
100%. And you know, that's the thing about music, bro. Music is something that is. It's not just one type of music, bro. As an artist, so not as a rapper, as an artist, you have to realize that you have to get inspired by different people and different types of music to make and shape the way you make your music. And that's the people that done it for me. But yeah, man.
No, it's a sick answer. There's a lot of influences there, which I'm glad we've gone into now and I can relate to, and the people like Lox and Diddy and Mace and these people as well. Sick.
100%.
So congratulations on the mixtape.
Thank you, my bro.
Utopia is doing bits right now.
It's doing big bits right now, man.
14 tracks.
Yeah.
Which is massive. Your biggest kind of body of work so far. So how is it kind of, you know, I say condensing, but approaching it? Did you have records you were working on and you were like, you know what, let's put a mixtape together? Was it a case of, you know, these are the specific types of records I'm going to make, and it is going to be one bigger body of work? Were there 100 records and you had to kind of really stress yourself to cut down to just like 14? How did that whole process work?
To be honest with you, bro, for me, it was just a thing where I make music nearly every day. So every time I walk into a studio, I'm in a different mood, and I make good music for that mood. One day I might walk in and I might feel amped. I might do something amped. Then one day I'm in a mood where I just want to do something slow. Then one day I might want to vent. And it's just, you know, the mood that I come into the studio with, that's the type of music that I would make. So it's not any specific type. I didn't put the mixtape together. I just worked throughout the last 2 years. I just kept on making music and music and music and music and not stopping. And then I just selected songs which fit together as a mood, as a vibe.
And how would you describe the mood and the vibe in your words?
It's literally Utopia. That's it. It's literally Utopia. You from the time you check into the first song and then you check out at track 14, it's like your journey through Utopia. You just feel like you're on another planet for them 14 tracks. Then you come back to reality. And, you know, for me, it wasn't hard to make the music. It's more about the more details of actually getting artistry involved in terms of like production and, you know, actually writing for it myself. You know what I'm trying to say? I write all my own music and, you know, getting into details of how we can make the record into something, you know, we can give it like that type of vibe where it feels like outer spacey and stuff like that. And I feel like I gave it that vibe, to be honest with you.
It's wicked, man. I mean, as a broadcaster, as a club DJ, I can look at a project and go, that's successful, or, you know, that's impacted well, that's really connecting with people. But for you, do you have like parameters that you regard as this is now a success? How do you define success for like this project? Success,
just me going to the studio is a success because I've succeeded in getting to the studio. Just me waking up sometimes is a success. You know, success is just being successful at doing something. You know, success for me is just making a song and releasing a video for it. That's success. Like this, I just view it as normal success because there's greater things that you need to accomplish as a human being. And, you know, success is... This is success, but there's greater success. There's always
to be achieved.
Yeah, God willingly, and this is just how it is. So for me, success is not something that I'll just be like, oh, I've succeeded now. Because when people think that they've succeeded, they stop.
That's when they start to fall off.
That's when, yeah. And with me, I don't think I'll ever think that I've succeeded, because that's just gonna put me in a whole different mind state where I think I can do what I want now. No, I can't do what I want now. You know, I do what I want anyway, but you know what I'm trying to say? This the passion for music is that man's got personally is, you know, making music for the love of music. I don't make music for money, so it's different.
Sick. Love that. That's really sick, man.
Yeah, man.
We talk about your career progressing. Yeah. Recently signing to Ireland as well.
Yeah,
so congratulations on that one,
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
So to you, how do you define the next level, or what makes up the next level?
The next level, well, for me to sign with Ireland in the first place, they pushed me to do what I needed to do. You know what I'm trying to say? I was active, bro. And, you know, I just feel like, obviously, I preach independency, but sometimes you need that little step where, you know, you need that push from an external, you know, like a label. Because... With like career progression itself, it could have... I don't even know how to answer this one, bro. It's a weird one. Say that again.
I just, you know, when you talk about... No, it's interesting, bro. It's sometimes you ask people questions about like, what's next? And they're like, yeah, I'm just going to keep on rising, or I'm going to get to the next level. And you're like, cool, what does that look like to you? The next level, for example, might be a track with a certain artist, or a certain number of sales, or, I don't know, a certain scale of tour or something. Just wondered in your words if what that consisted of.
So progression for me is just being better at everything that I am doing at the moment, whether it's recording. So right now, I know how to record myself. So I can go into the studio, sit down and record my own music. Just me in the studio. No one else needs to be there. And I just feel like that's progression, doing things that you can get better at. So there's one thing making music, it's another thing actually finding out how to record yourself and mix down and etc. etc. And even in terms of like coming to tours, for example, like you said, tours. When I go for a tour, I want to be putting on a show. Like when people go to theatre, it's because it's something that is, it's a moment, you know what I'm trying to say? It's something that they take in, they go to watch it, and it's like, it's a memory from there. If you go, you know, how many theatres at Broadway? What, Phantom of the Opera, all of that kind of stuff. Like, people actually go to these things. And
they're iconic. They're more than just a performance, more than just a show.
Exactly. It's iconic. And, you know, like, for example, let's give someone as an example. Look at Travis Scott, Astroworld. People are going to his tour for the experience, bro. Do you get it? The experience.
A lot more than someone just chatting lyrics down the mic and it's done.
Do you know what I mean now? People are going there for the experience, and that's what you need to do. You need to make it into experience. You just have to progress in every angle of what you're doing and get it better. If you like music, make a label. Make a label, get a few young up-and-coming artists, get some young up-and-coming producers. To be honest, I'll preach to get producers more than I'll preach to get artists, because some artists are hard to work with. It's hard to find someone that's hard-working. But producers is, you know, on it. Constant, and it's good to push your producers as well. I'm a big yes man for pushing your own producers and stuff like that.
That's really good to hear, bro.
So,
because
bro.
I feel from a producer point of view, maybe I'm a bit biased now because I make records, but we're still a little bit behind. Artists are the forefront, and they will be, and there's the live connection.
Yeah.
But sometimes with some producers, I speak to other people who've been involved in big records, they feel they haven't quite got the visibility or the respect, or the whatever the words you want to use. So it's great to sit here with you and chop it up, and you be like, look, I'm behind producers, I'm supporting them, I'm pushing them out.
I pay for all my beats.
That's all love.
I pay for all my beats, and I make sure I pay for all my beats. I ain't trying to get sued. Number one. Number two, I feel like credit is due. You have to pay that credit. Simple.
I appreciate that.
Like, you can't be jumping on a beat and not paying a producer, or coming to an understanding with a producer. Because without you, the track wouldn't be there. But without him, the idea of the song wouldn't be there. You know what I'm trying to say? The whole vibe of the song wouldn't be there without the producer. So you have to give props to the producer. You always have to give props to the producer. The thing that we lack in this scene is a lot of people don't really push the producers. And I feel like that era needs to come ASAP. People need to start pushing their producers and making sure that, you know, people do what, you know, Future did with Metro Boomin, or Gucci did with Zaytoven, and so on and so forth. You know, Blockboy did it with Tay Keith. Things like this, bro, they're actually a big thing. It's like people out there are pushing their producers, and everyone's making hits, and, you know, producers are getting as much recognitions, if not the same, as an artist. And I feel like that era needs to be here. It needs to be here because they deserve it.
Thank you.
You're welcome,
I'm
bro.
literally going to cut out that bit that you've just said and put that on loop and play that to people. So thank
It's
you.
the truth. It's the truth.
You give me a key quote there. I mean, as I said earlier, this is the first time we've linked, and you strike me as someone who is clearly very passionate about what they do, but you're very focused, very humble, and there's no external factors or anything else getting in the way of you achieving what you want to achieve. So for you, musically, have you always had this like mad focus, or is there other things that kind of have happened around you or around music that have kind of led you to be like this?
I've been a hard-working person, but I've never worked this hard, because, you know, I was in the wrong field, bro. I was in a very negative field where the energy was bad, and there's bad people, and, you know, stuff like that, just external factors that come into play where, you know, it just makes you negative as a whole, like not having a clean run. Can't even keep a clean run for a week. Do you know what I'm trying to say? You can't go 10 days without something happening, something, you know, whether it's minor or it's a catastrophe. Like, this is just, you know, when you find something that you love doing, you know, and it's got the right energy into it, then you can prosper onto the next level. And the harder you work, the more positive you're going to get out of it. And for me, bro, I'd rather do this than sell drugs. That's the honest truth.
Yeah, man.
You know, I miss the hustle sometimes, don't get me wrong, you know, but why? Yeah, why?
You're in a better space now.
better space now. Let me talk about my past. You know, as Potter Paper said, didn't know that I'll be talking about my dead past. You know what I'm trying to say? Making money off it. Like, personally, like I said to you already, I don't make music for money. So, you know, to actually be doing that, getting that bonus from doing something you love is a good thing. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah, and man. Investing that into you know, meaningful things is even better.
And the hard-working element is so important as well, because people who aren't heavily involved in music, let's say the casual listener who hears a record and goes, well, that's a banger.
Yeah.
They think that, oh, you just went in the studio, got out your pen, pad, there you go, one take, and that was the record done. They don't understand the depths and the focus you have to go to in terms of writing the record, constructing it, the whole thing.
Sorry to interrupt you, but you see what you just said there? Sometimes that's true, because I've done that myself, bro. Nearly all my songs would be one take.
One take? Wow, impressing me, bro.
Bro,
everyone's got their own process. I respect that, but please carry on.
I like to do it in one take because it brings all the emotion out. If you're going to make music and emotions go together. People need to realise that you have to put emotion into music, otherwise it's not going to be
as
impactful as it is. So, you know, for me, I like doing it one take because the emotion comes out during that one take. It's just a build-up of you going up and up. There's no decline, you know. And musically, in terms of like one takes and etc., my process is obviously different. But you know, for me, sometimes, bro, I have gone into the studio and made a song in 10 minutes. I have made a song in 15 minutes. I've made a song in 10 hours. Like, I made Birds, post-produced it with Quincy. Like, me and him sat down, we done it, and another producer, you know, got involved in the beat as well. Done a few hi-hats, stuff like that. His name is Mika Beats, and, you know, made a record in 10 hours, bro. The beat was chopped up well. Like, it's a process, bro. It's a process, and it's a vibe that can't be built again. You're gonna have to restart and respawn, literally.
You're right. It captures a moment.
Yeah, 100%.
And once you've got that captured, it's good to go.
100%.
Aside from music, you've always been someone who's very kind of outspoken in a positive way about some of the difficulties some of the young people face, not only in London, but across this country at the moment. Our life is very difficult and opportunities can be limited, if any. What kind of things do you think needs to change in order to give people more opportunities, brighter future, more options?
To be honest with you, I've had a conversation with Westwood about this already. And I did tell him that, you know, there'll be people out here applying for a job. And, you know, because your name is like, for example, Jerome. Your name is Jerome, right? You give a CV in and just say your brethren's name is, I don't know, Ali or Mustafa or, you know what I'm trying to say? And they're given CVs like, from your name, they will not give you that job because they can put two and two together. My man's background will be this and Jerome will be a black dude. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And I feel like that people will let this get over them, but this is a big issue because it happens till this day in 2019. Why do you think there's kids out here selling drugs going past county lines? Because
no options.
They ain't got that opportunity to do that. And plus, on top of that, it's not the parents' fault, to be honest with you, because parents always want the best for their children. It's majority by external factors, maybe the neighborhood that you're living in, or maybe, you know, it's seeing people grow up and doing certain things, or it's just being blind, the blindness of money. And people do these kind of things just for that reason, bro. So personally, the things that need to change in my eyes, I don't know, like, this is my personal opinion, it's just people need to realise education is a big thing. It's a real big thing. And I feel like people need to take in that message from me deeply, because education, without education, like being intelligent does not only require for you to be book smart, it requires for you to be both book smart and street smart. You should know both the angles. That's what intelligence is in my eyes. You can't just, when someone says I'm an intelligent person, you know, I'll just automatically just think, you know, people automatically think that they're talking about books. You know, because let's be honest, like, same way that people talk about books. There's books that are non-fiction and fiction, bro. Some books are fake, and some of that intelligence might be fake, you know. And I just feel like people need to take that into account. Education, getting into things like sciences and technology, where there's real innovations happening day by day. There's people that come out with something small, like, for example, this, bro. Like, which genius thought to keep a bottle closed like this, my bro? It doesn't even come off. Like, people make millions of that, bro. And this is what people need to realise. Little things like this, people make millions of. Apps, you know, services, and there's a lot of, like, I believe that everyone is born an artist. It just depends on which direction they're going, you know what I'm trying to say. So it's just about focusing on the key factor, which, like I said, is education. Education is a serious thing, and I feel like everyone that's out there, like youth, they need to realise that, you know, this is something they need to get into, because you can have £1 million cash, but if you ain't got good credit, you ain't getting a house, my guy. So that £1 million cash is going to have to get spent somehow. You can never, ever in your life claim that money and put it into a bank account. So
where does it go?
That £1 million is worthless in my eyes, to be honest. You might get everything material, but you won't get anything long-lasting, you know, like that. So, yeah, bro.
No, good insight, man. Education is key, and as across the board, education situations keep getting their investment cut left, right, centre.
100%, and that's why the education system needs to
it's a mess.
Need to start teaching people about things like credit.
Yeah.
Like,
which they still don't do in school. They still don't do it in school, college.
You think I want to know about? You know what I mean? You think I want to know about
Pythagoras' theorem or whatever?
Yeah, no, you know what? There's certain things in complex maths that actually come to use, because bear in mind, maths is money, coding on computers. Maths is well, the life is maths, bro. Like I used to sell drugs, bro. That's maths. You know what I'm trying to say? So maths is quite important, but there's certain aspects of maths that you don't need in real life. Integration and differentiation and stuff like that. This is kind of stuff that's, you know, people don't find that interesting. We're in a new day and age. We're in a new era where the young youth get bored very, very easily. You need to teach them things that will benefit their life, rather than you thinking this is going to benefit their intelligence or being book smart anyway. You need to teach them things like credit, you know, how to send your you know, do your taxes, you know, little things, how to take out a mortgage, you know, how this works, how that works. We're talking about real life things that come to use, because 9 times, you know, things like even being on the electoral roll, voting, people might not think, oh, F the government, I don't want to vote, but this stuff there affects your credit rating. Voting makes your credit go higher. You know, like that, and that's the type of stuff the education system needs to put into play, man. To be honest,
100%. As we look forward to the rest of this year, the tour
starts on Saturday, bro.
Tour is a madness, looking super sold out, left, right, centre.
Left, right, and centre.
Iconic moments,
bro. I feel good. I'm ready to give the fans everything that I've got, bro.
Sick.
I've been going gym every day. I'm built for this.
Ready, and also wireless on the way.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to be in wireless, man. 100%.
Madness. What other bits and pieces coming up over the rest of the year can you let us know about? I know you've just recently dropped the project and you've got the tour.
I've got a couple other projects that are already done.
Sick.
Wrapped up, and yeah, just in the process of paying producers, bro. That's it.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
Get it done early and just start paying the producers from early. So when it's time to release, it's time to release.
You're good to go. You're set up.
No stress. And yeah, bro, man. But thank you for having me, Jay, man. I really appreciate it, bro.
Listen, bro. Thank you for your time. Like I said, the mixtape's doing a lot. We're loving it, and good luck with the tour. It's going to be a madness. Iconic moments across social media.
Thank you, my bro, man. I appreciate it, man. Thank you.